Hello. For the second day of our Advent journey, I'm going to read the story from the book for you directly. It's a good one, this, isn't it? It's a bit heavy, so if you'll excuse me, I'll put it down. Ready? And I shall use this very ancient Wacom pen. The Magi were very wise, as well as being wonderful pet owners. They loved Kevin, Gary and Wayne the camels, but they had forgotten that, while camels are great at travelling long distances across deserts, they are not famed for their obedience or their diplomacy. Always read the sentence, the whole thing, so that you know where you go. So, the Magi were very wise. If it's that kind of, that's where. It's either here or there or where. So if it's position, it's that one. And then what have we got? They loved Kevin and Gary. While camels are great at travelling, so that's the kind of great. That means very big or brilliant is sort of common things. And that kind of great is the sort of great where a fire grate, that sort of thing. Deserts. Now this is desert. And this kind of dessert has got two S's because you have two sugars in your pudding. Dessert, pudding. Two sugars in your pudding. Desert, one for sand. But they were not famed for their obedience. Was that there, here or where obedience? No. It's, hang on, can't get my pen up there. Need to get my mighty tome out the way. There we are. Is it they are obedience? No, it belongs to them, the obedience, isn't it? It's their obedience as opposed to our obedience. Let's clear that. And then we'll go on to the next thrilling bit. Kevin and Gary were essentially lazy. Given the option, they would have preferred to spend as much of the day as possible being completely stationary. They had cast their eyes over the map and noticed that the route would be rather more direct if they missed out that particular spot. Despite this, they loved the three wise men and would have gone to where they were told to, albeit in a slightly grumpy fashion. So the stationery we want is stationary. That means to be still. When it's spelt with an E, that means envelopes and paper and things. So E for envelopes in stationary. But we wanted stationary because he was still. And notice that the route would have been more direct. So that's the kind of route if you're going somewhere. I've no idea where it comes from, but that sort of route is a tree route. If they missed. Now, if you miss something, you didn't quite hit it, and that's in the past tense missed. This kind of mist is the sort of like, ooh, spooky mist, when sort of foggy mist. Yep. Right, off we go. Oh, I missed out where and where, didn't I? That they would have gone where. Now that's the place, isn't it? Is it here, where, there? So we want the other one was where, as in to wear your clothes. Right. Wayne, however, particularly wanted to avoid that stop, as his ex-girlfriend Sharon the camel lived there, and he was determined not to see Sharon the camel, so he simply refused to move. That kind of see with two eyes. See, two eyes, it starts with E. That kind of see is the sort of that kind of see. And simply refused to. If you're going to do something, to, that two is 1, 2, 3, and that two is too many because it's got too many O's. Right. The three wise men tried all sorts of ways to get Wayne the camel walking. Balthasar tried complimenting him, saying he was the best camel any of the wise men had ever met, and they simply couldn't manage the journey without him. Melchiel tried to bribe him, saying that he would be fed sweets every few miles. Caspar, who liked to think of himself as the wisest of the wise men, sat down on the sand in front of Wayne the camel and explained that on the journey that they are about to embark on, and explained that the journey that they were about to embark on. Do you ever have any of those days? and that the items they had to acquire on the way were of great theological and doctrinal import. When none of these methods worked, the wise men tried wheedling, begging, cajoling, and talking rather sternly, but ultimately Wayne won the argument by staying still and occasionally spitting. That's not nice, is it? So the complimenting we want, complimenting. That means when you say nice things about something, play them a compliment. So I compliment him. The other one, complimenting, is things that go with it. Something, yeah. Right, sweets. It's got the kind of sweets that you eat has got lots of eat, like teeth. Your teeth go rotten if you eat too many sweets. Now let's try. Oh, here was the wisest of. We send the if it's one and off if it's two. Lots of f's in that. Ooh, the next one is way. And they had to acquire on the way. That's the way you go. Way you go. The other kind of way is when you measure something. But none. So that means not one. So there's one, there's the n, not one. But none of these methods worked. And blah, 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 and ultimately won the day. So that's the one, let's put it this way, that's 1, 2, 3, of which there were none, not one. And this is the one where you won the race. Back to the next paragraph. So go back a bit. Ultimately, Wayne won the day, won the argument by staying still and occasionally spitting. Fine, sighed Balthazar. We'll head straight for Yemen instead. Why Yemen? Because according to Wikipedia, that is where myrrh comes from. But you'll have to carry all the shopping, Wayne. And so at last they set off on their course. That's the way you go. The other kind of course with the A is like rough hair course. Oh, I've just seen something fairly rude there that you could probably do something with, but we'll pretend we haven't noticed that, won't we? Because that would be a coarse joke, but since I'm not sure which way that's spelt, probably that way. So anyway, course, the way we want to go is that way. Right. Happy Advent too. See you tomorrow.